This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
What do you got going over there on the comment section, Steve?
Well, I mean, it's like an explosion. And look, we get your point, but you can stop telling us to cut her off because I can't keep. Look, it's like a receipt that's gone crazy, right? So, and everyone's gong or next caller, feed the monster, cut that bitch off. Oh my God, cut that bitch off. One person, I just want to let them know. I know you were extremely angry, but just know your autocorrect corrected it to get to the ducking point. I just thought you'd want to know that. Check your. Yeah, I get how that works.
Still to come, Drunk in Charge, Ryan Castle coming up to kick off the bad jokes, the return of Ted versus the FCC on the way. Our question, what was the emergency situation? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Dennis. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hi, how are you?
Hola.
Hola! All right, so I had to think of a big selection of like 5 or 6. Unfortunately, I have too much life experience. But I stabbed myself in the left arm once opening a package, so that pretty well does it. Hit myself in the artery and bled all over the place. Looked like a murder scene in my kitchen. I was 19 beers into a 30 box, and
that is a lot of beer, man.
Well, you know, late 20s. What do you do?
Okay, all right.
So I was on days off, was over at my boss's house getting liquored up. The girl drove me back to the house there and had a new package, new intake manifold for the car. Had showed up, so I brought the box in the house, set it on its end, and pulled out my pocket knife and went to zip the thing open. Well, it got stuck in some, what I think was expandy foam. So I pulled a little harder and slip and pop right into my left inner elbow, right into an artery.
Oh, inner elbow, like right where the bend in the elbow is?
Yes.
Ah, that had to be horribly painful.
So, well...
Not as much as you think, man. It's the blood. I did the same thing, not for the same reason, but...
same place.
Like, it didn't hurt, but your blood, I mean, it rockets out of your body, and you just... I don't know how to explain it. Like, you've seen it in a horror movie, but, like, I don't know. I moved my hand. It literally shot out of my body, and I remember in that moment, it's kind of like, oh,
yes,
no.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, everything slowed down.
What happens. Moved my fingers a little bit, and it squirted between my fingers all over the place, and it went 5 or 6 feet or so.
Yeah.
And grabbed a half roll of paper towels and shoved it on there, and 10 seconds later, the paper towels were totally soaked.
Yeah.
So we called the ambulance and called my buddy at the same time. He had a exceptionally quick car and track time, so he actually got to my house before the ambulance and got me to the hospital before the ambulance ever made it to the hospital.
I bet you they still charge you for that. Like, ooh, the missed call.
You know.
I mean, we did into that.
We did use 12
$1,500.
Band-Aids on that.
That's $1,500.
Yeah.
So, was it emergency surgery, I assume?
Well, they just slapped it back together, and that was that.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't one of those things like if it had been a half an
hour.
hour later, you wouldn't have made it or anything. It wasn't to that level.
Oh, yeah, definitely. On the way to the emergency room there, I was actually passing out, kind of going delirious and whatnot. My blood was so thin, and it's summertime.
And you've drank 19 beers. I'm sure your buddy, you ruined his car?
Well, the interior was black, so it didn't turn out too bad, really.
Still covered in blood, man.
Yeah.
I mean, if I cop through some luminol on that thing, it'll probably glow purple everywhere.
Where are you from, Chicago or Baltimore?
Right, no doubt.
That was what was the emergency situation? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Jack. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and oars.
Liquor and oars.
How are we doing today, gentlemen?
We're doing great. How are you doing, Jack?
Good. Enjoying the sunshine.
Okay, nice.
So 2 weeks before December or Christmas in 2003, I was on patrol in northern Baghdad, and I had
enjoying the sunshine.
Bradley, enjoying the sunshine.
Yeah.
But I had an M2 Bradley about like 100 meters ahead of me. They pulled up to a bunch of cars. They checked it, said it was clear. So we, in our Humvee, we get behind him and take off. And when we get up to the car pile, all hell broke loose. Blew the whole right side, or blew the whole left side off the Humvee, blew the top off, blew me through the passenger door, which was an armored Humvee, broke all the hinges, just devastated everything. Lost my 2 buddies, but, still standing, enjoying the men's room.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. I'm assuming you had other patrols there to help you out when this happened?
There were 6 Humvees all together, and I was laying on the ground. Of course, my whole right side was all completely busted up. My rifle was busted. So, and then you can hear pop shots of, the insurgents firing down on us.
Sure.
And the 2 guys from the back Humvee, they came up to grab me, and by this time I've got my 9mm in my head, and he went and grabbed my shoulder straps, and I almost shot him.
That's hilarious.
And he said, no, it's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's yelling, no, it's me. And they got me in the back of the Humvee. We took off, got like 6 blocks from where we were. Medical helicopter came out of the sky, took me to Cash Hospital.
How are you physically now, Jack? You all right?
Oh, yeah. I still got me on my back. I have a bad back, though, but, everything still is pretty good.
Psychologically, does anything mess with you? Any situations mess with you? Like on a day-to-day basis where you see something or something reminds you of something or there's a smell or is there any triggers where where you'd rather not be in it? 4th of July? Hell, you know what I mean?
Oh, 4th of July it did for a little bit, but it doesn't no more. The thing that does trigger sometimes are certain people. We'll just say that, certain people.
Okay.
Not really any smells or anything like that, Yeah, I still have a hard time sleeping at night, but, I have a good time in life, drink a lot of beer.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Well, beer does something.
Yeah, exactly. What was the emergency situation? 844-999-OLA.
I feel better.
I really do, too.
That was a pick-me-up. Hello, Devin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
How you guys doing?
Good, Devin. How are you?
Pretty well. So I was going to tell you guys about the time that I was a mid-teen and I was vacationing with my grandparents in Indiana. They decided to take us on a trip to Lake Michigan. So we're chilling at the beach, and there were some pretty nasty riptides coming in, and I decided to chance it and head out there. And I was having some fun, splashing around, and I heard this. I could have sworn I heard this faint scream for help, and it seemed like but it seemed like nobody was able to hear it. So I swam back to shore, and I was able to look around, and I saw these 2 heads that kept bobbing up and down. They looked like they were younger, and so I went back and I grabbed some pool noodles. And I had just watched the movie The Guardian couple weeks before that.
Grab my pool noodles.
So I'm feeling good about myself. Right now.
Pool noodles. Yeah, that'll save everything. So I swam out there and I asked if they were all right, and they obviously couldn't talk because they were sitting there bobbing up and down. So I tried to grab the bigger guy, but he was obviously panicking, and he forced my head under the water. And at that point, I started panicking, too, and I started playing around, and I punched the kid in the face and swam back to shore, and then immediately got help and everything. And
good catch.
But when the paramedics finally came out, it turned out that the 2 boys were actually brothers, and the younger boy had climbed on top of the older boy's back, and the older boy kind of sacrificed himself to keep his brother alive.
So the older brother didn't make it, the guy who pushed you under.
Yeah, he drowned.
Wow. Okay. I tell you what.
Another uplifting story. Yes. I am feeling fantastic.
I will say this, and Mike Hawk can attest to this, and it's
scouting. a Boy Scout thing.
It's scouting related. Because I taught life saving, and that's it's not to the extent of other training that's involved, but there is one drill that you do where you go out and most of the time it's a scoutmaster or an older scout that's out there that's experienced, and they will attempt to drown you. And when you go out, and when you go out the first time, you learn swim technique. I mean, not swim techniques, as far as someone reaching and grabbing and shoulder and how to twist arms, and you learn to go under with the body. And if they push you down, then you know where to pull up. You need to pull on their nuts.
Yeah,
and there's all kinds of things. Then you come and you pop up from the backside, and you get up and underneath them in their chest cavity. But Like as I'm hearing these stories today about people drowning, and the first story about the guy with the ex-wife, and he was trying to bring in, I'm like, I know exactly how to do that. I don't know that I could, in the situation, how difficult it would be to apply. I know what I was taught.
But I think that's true. But I think it depends, man. And I would say this, like, you hear a lot of advice, I'll call it at best, for how to deal with certain wild animal attacks, right? But I feel like the adrenaline's different. So they say, hey, man, a bear's chasing you, play dead. I tell you right now, I just don't know if I could do that, right? I'm going to but in a situation where you feel like maybe you have somewhat control or you're actually going to help someone, I think you can do it there because you know that if you can do what you were told to do, you know you can win this. Like the bear, like, nah, dog, I'm running. I'm sorry. I know you told me to stop. There's no chance. Saving someone, if I felt like saving them, then maybe. It'd be more trying to, like, convince me to go out there. Like, they're like 20 yards in the water, man. Yeah. I mean, like, I can't. Miles, you do it, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling it. I don't know them.
Finger in the eyeball works every time.
Well, with the bear?
Yeah. Bear, somebody trying to drown you. But if it's got an eyeball and you need to control them, stick your finger in their eyeball.
But remember one thing we just learned. That guy that was mauled by the bear, granted, he got out of his own cab because he had to get a selfie with a bear.
Yes, he did.
A wounded animal. Things were bad enough for him. Somebody hit that bear with something, and it made him angry. I'm telling you, poke that bear in the eye, it's going to get worse.
Bad jokes on the way. Send those bad jokes via the email to mensroom@mensroomlive.com as we have the Drunk in Charge. Ryan Castle coming up to kick off the bad jokes right before we drink and toast with the shot of the day. And emails from the mensroom@mensroomlive.com coming up next as well. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
Does that mean you want to read it?
We can cover that one. Yeah. Right, okay. It's just difficult. Got to clean it up a bit.
Coming up on Bad Jokes on the way as the Drunk in Charge Ryan Castle being to kick off the Bad Jokes. Ted versus the FCC is coming up. But first time for a few emails here from the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Guys, my emergency situation was I had just made the biggest, baddest sparkler bomb of my short sparkler bomb making career. Now, normally you would light them, run away, and everything would go off without a hitch.
Yes.
Well, I had just bought a motorcycle, and so I had it in a backpack, not thinking that the ride to my destination would loosen up all of that gunpowder. So I get there, set it up, go to light it, and it explodes right in my face, blows my shirt completely off my body, puts my pants in tatters, blows my sunglasses off my face. From what others were saying, I look like a zombie. I then walked about 10 feet and collapsed. Got airlifted to the hospital, spent a week in there in the burn unit. Apparently, the sight of it was so traumatizing to this one guy, he kind of went crazy. And they found him roaming the streets of Seattle late one night, and they had to admit him to Overlake Psychiatric Ward for temporary insanity. I guess the official term would be some sort of temporary nervous breakdown. But yeah, he went crazy for a week after that, and they essentially had to load him up on Xanax and take him to a counselor for about a month to get him back to normal. I feel terrible about it. Old bitches, it's Jay. My emergency actually happened at the hospital. I'd gone into the emergency room for kidney stones, which I knew that I had. They gave me some painkiller and some other medication for nausea and performed a scan to confirm that I did in fact have the kidney stones. They were able to release me from the hospital and were giving me instructions on what to do. As I was sitting there on the gurney, I informed the nurse that I was feeling like I was going to puke. She left the room to get something to puke in. I must have blacked out at that point because the next thing I remember, there were 6 doctors and nurses huddled around me on the floor trying to wake me up. Evidently, I had passed out and fell face first onto the concrete floor. Oh. I was there for another 3 hours to be checked for head trauma. Good times. Only guys, I took my daughter to the park. We walked because it was only a few blocks away. Talked to other parents, and there's a young lady. She had her hands full there with 3 kids. She's the sitter, nanny, new to the job. Kids are about 6, 4, 2 maybe. 2-year-old is a high-energy little girl. We're saying our goodbyes, and the 2-year-old dashes out of the park fence and directly into the street. Sitter and I sprint after this giggling little maniac, and she doesn't see the sidewalk isn't flush with the street. There's a small step. She hits it right and plows face first into the asphalt. I'd grab the kid, turn around to assess the damage of this poor lady. She's scraped up, but the worst thing is her knee. It has been degloved. From the top of her kneecap to the bottom, her skin is just hanging off. Her car is tiny, no room for me and my 1-year-old to fit in to drive her to the hospital. She begs me not to call an ambulance, no money to pay that bill. We have no first aid supplies, we have diapers. I wrap her knee as tight as I can in a clean diaper, get all the kids buckled into the car with her, and send her on her way. Called the hospital to let them know she was on her way and would need help with the kid. I still feel bad. Wonder how it turned out. I have some good stories about broken ankles when I was playing roller derby as well. Have a good one, guys. That from the lovely Emily. Do you want to read some of those comments?
A few comments came in. It says, years ago, commuting in California on a stretch of highway called Blood Alley. Well, a motorcycle blew past me, ran head-on into a semi. Daytime, almost zero visibility because of dense fog. Had a bit of an emergency last week when my dog decided to chase a freaking black bear while we were hiking. All ended well, thank God, but that was a level of panic I've never felt before. Gotta admit, I peed my pants a little. And then there's this one, and I don't know that we've all been precisely in this situation, but something similar. My emergency situation, diarrhea during sexual intercourse. While battling the urge to thrust a bit stronger in the particular position I was in, knowing that at any given precious moment I could spew brown sauce into her bed. I had a backup plan that I cannot really repeat here on the radio, but let's just say he had a plan in mind where he feasibly could blame her for the fecal matter being all over the bed. Should have come to
way.
that. But he did not go to that.
That plan would never work.
It would not work, but that was his backup
No,
plan.
it's someone else's poo.
That was all you. Yeah, so that was his
I
emergency.
see what he was going to do. Yeah, no. Do we have time for a few extra emails here from the men's room?
He thought about it. The fact that it even crossed his mind, like, I can do this, so and then maybe I can blame her.
Look
at what you did.
Oh, yeah, 3 pounds worth.
Yeah.
Do we have time for a few extra emails from the men's room at mensroomlive.com? I can't believe he thought of right. Like, you wouldn't know. Oh, my God. God, people. Guys, can you give a happy birthday shout out to my daughter Alyssa for her 11th birthday? She would like a little kid fish sandwich, please. And maybe a barbershop if you have time. Thanks, guys. And Wobbin, that from Keith.
Fish sandwich.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side.
Oh, yeah.
I smell the fish sandwich. Maybe some dill relish in the morning, at noon, and at night, and at night.
All of it, Joel's can I get a big old bong rip? Today is my 17th birthday. I'd also like to hear the Dirty Germans talk about the Dodge Demon. If you don't know what that is, look it up. You'll probably S your pants. That from Trenton.
Yeah, I do not know much about this Dodge Demon, but tonight you'll be trying to dodge my meat demon.
Ja, du kannst mein Teufel fahren.
17-year-old kid there.
Oh.
All right.
Oh.
Yeah. But Joel
no. That's fine.
He's 17.
It's fine.
Close enough. Wishing my twin bro Ian a happy birthday. Could you give him an OG fish sandwich? And your penis is too small. Thanks, that from Shane.
Fish sandwich.
Pacholas, it's my apprentice nephew Emery's 19th birthday. We're big fans. His absolute favorite bit is you guys talking all over each other. Can he get you guys talking all over each other about Star Wars? Thanks a ton and rock on. That from Nate the plumber. Absolutely.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't really understand why
The scene with Princess Leia bounces back.
I still thought Luke Skywalker was a complete
Tinkerbell bouncing back to the
goddamn ship.
Complete garbage.
Freaking Ewoks. That's amazing. Well, Bacholas, I'm not sure that anyone will do this for me, so I'm asking for myself. I'll be 19 yet another year in a row, according to my husband. Can I get a big old Leroy Jenkins and some Ray Lewis, please? Thanks, guys. That from Chanel in Tacoma.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins! It's time to take off the leash.
Old Bacholas today would like to give a shout out. Happy 30th birthday to Wilson Mathiasson. He is a great person and a great significant other to Melly. So let's give Willis a what the hell is that, bro, and an andro penis. Thanks, y'all. That from the Bonnie Lake Cowboy.
Oh my God! What the is that, bro?
Bacholas, I want to wish my beautiful girlfriend Amy a happy birthday. Not sure how old this old man captured the heart of this amazing woman. Give her a fish sandwich and some dirty Germans. That from Jason.
Fish sandwich.
Yeah, for your birthday you will call me Scott. Because I want to fertilize your lady garden.
Ja, du kannst ein Schwarzfeld anfassen für deinen Geburtstag.
Hello, Charles. Today, my big brother Gabe, pronounced Gabe, is turning 35. Can you give him a big old bong rip and an original barbershop fish sandwich? Thanks, guys. That from Shirley.
Can I get a fish sandwich? Oh, you know I gotta eat right. Oh, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
Hola, guys, it's the Rev's birthday. How about the Dirty Germans talking about farts? Thanks, guys. Love the show from Bob.
Yeah, Rev, I know you like to fart too. Tonight, consider my penis the ripcord.
Dein Gas schmeckt wie Schlagsahne.
No idea.
Say that again.
Dein Gas schmeckt wie Schlagsahne.
It somehow sounds right.
It's right, trust me.
Guys, it's my daughter Crystal's 36th trip around the sun. She'd get a laugh out of turtle wax, considering turtles are her favorite animal. So how about that? And a big old bong rip, please. That from the Mom and Thomas.
Uh-oh, look out.
Hola, guys, I want to wish my sweetheart Shannon a happy 36th birthday. She has been face painting and balloon twisting at the MS Walks where Taryn hosts at Tulalip for the last 5 years. Tulalip. This year, she did all 3 walks along the Sound, got to meet Taryn and her mom. Can I get an old school fish sandwich and a little kid fish sandwich from Liz? Thanks for everything. That from Lord Fish Sandwich.
Fish sandwich.
Fish sandwich.
Hello, guys. Can I please get a birthday shout-out for my friend Matt, a.k.a. White Boy? Could you guys give him some turtle wax with a vagina in the paws? Keep on rocking. That from Nathan.
Vagina.
Hola, guys and girl. Love your show, and thanks for doing what you do. Your show is truly the best in all of the land.
All the land!
My beautiful wife, Jennifer, is turning the big 5-0, and in honor of the day she came out of a vagina, I will be trying to get into hers. I'm hoping the Dirty Germans may be able to give me some pointers on how to loosen her up on her birthday. Love you to the moon and back, baby. Thanks, guys. That from Ken, the one electrician who does everything right.
Yeah, it's simple. For her birthday, play the game of Mailbox. You stuff a giant package in her.
Ja, genau. Du musst alles schön rausstrecken.
All right, guys, here we go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, bitches.
Ja, the Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
By the way, we will be having sausage at Men's Room Red Fest Saturday, June 23rd, Enumclaw Expo Center, and the beer will be there as well. If you don't have tickets yet, I'll get them now, mensroomlive.com. We do have, the bands are going to be performing as we'll have live music all day.
That's right.
We will make that announcement coming up to here shortly. Definitely over 20 beers on tap at Red Festival, including Men's Room Original Red. And as you know, a portion of the net proceeds of Red Festival will benefit our friends at the Fisher House. So by stopping by, enjoying the afternoon, doing some outdoor drinking, we'll have tons of food there, tons of beers. You're giving back to our friends at the Fisher House and doing some good.
And again, and I say this often, but I think it's important to point out, you can give back, right? You can do something charitable, feel good about yourself, collect a few karmic poker chips, right? And all we're asking you to do is drink and eat.
It's just that
you don't have to pour ice water on yourself. You don't have to run 15 miles.
Nope. Tickets on sale now. mensroomlive.com. There are package options there on all kinds of fun stuff for Men's Room Red Festival. So we'll see you Saturday, June 23rd, Enumclaw Expo Center. There'll be additional things adding on to the day. If you went last year, there's going to be even more stuff. So it's going to be a great time.
It should be a very good time. Very good time.
A couple more real quick here, bitches. I've been catching up on your guys' podcast. When did words do you dirty? When I was little, I could not say my R's or L's. I sounded like I was from Boston when I told people my name was Jennifer. I had to do speech therapy, but sometimes I still slip up.
Jennifer.
Like in high school, I finally got the lead in a school play. I had to say the line, "It's all my fault." Except it came out, "It's all my fart." The laughter went on for what felt like an eternity. That from Lady Bear Jenna, who was supposed to say, "It's all my fault," except it came out, "It's all my fart."
Ah, Jenny, you made memories that day.
I really did. Okay, guys, worst thing anyone's ever given me. Just got kind of a crappy gift. This is from a few weeks back. I got married in 2012, and we got a blanket for a wedding present. It was kind of a rust-colored blanket. Didn't really go with anything in our house, so we went to exchange it. It was from a major retailer, so we took the thing back. The clerk, an older lady I know, who had worked there for a better part of 30 years, looked at it, turned it back over, and said, "There's no UPC code. We haven't sold these since probably 1978. My wife and I looked at each other, knowing who gave it to us, of all the cheap asses.
Right.
That from Randy.
Damn, man.
One more. What did you have to get rid of? Guys, let's see here. What did you have to get rid of? This was based upon the story of an airline passenger that had to flush her emotional support hamster. Well, over 10 years ago, my practice, he says, I'm just getting caught up on all these podcasts. My practice wife bought my daughter an all-black guinea pig we named Chappelle. He was really cool, but my daughter did not like this guinea pig at all. It actually terrified her. So this pet sadly just lived a lonely existence in this garage, chilling in his cage. I left for a 3-month deployment, and when I returned, I noticed that Chappelle and his cage were gone. So I started playing detective, started asking complex questions like, hey, what the hell happened to Chappelle? My wife would say she just didn't want to talk about it. Finally, after consistently asking her, she finally broke. She made a decision to release Chappelle into the wild, as in our backyard. In her words, Chappelle would have a better life in the wild. I said, Jesus, it was wintertime. I wonder if he survived. She said, well, he had a little fur coat, so I figured he would be fine. Then she sadly looked at me and she said, 2 months later, the next door neighbor was talking to her in front of a bunch of other neighbors in the front yard. He said, I found the strangest thing in the backyard this winter. All the neighbors, including my practice wife, were excited to hear what he found. He said, I found a solid black guinea pig that was frozen solid. One neighbor looked at my practice wife and replied, weren't you trying to get rid of an all-black guinea pig? Well, I guess she succeeded. Take care, bitches. That from Sober Sound.
Damn.
Yes. Still to come, bad jokes on the way. Get those bad jokes to us. Send them to the men's room at mensroomlive.com as Ryan Castle, the drunk in charge, will be in to kick off the bad jokes. But first.
And now, everyone's favorite daytime game show, where one person could lose $325,000 and their job, or win and walk away with nothing. It's time for Ted versus the FCC.
Oh, man. Wow. We were up so late last night. Showing up with all kinds of rhymes and riddles for Ted versus the FCC. Lo and behold, though, we came in today and realized Ted had the day off.
Son of a bitch.
Unbelievable. So he did all that work. We didn't even get one in the email. We were actually, for the first time, going to use one of our own Ted versus the FCCs today. And damn it, we forgot he wasn't working. So
we worked it so long, we had to switch from tied to game.
Unbelievable. So with that in mind, we thought we'd give to you every loss, as Ted has had a few in the last few weeks here, this year so far, in Ted versus the FCC. So if we could, let's go back in time.
At Slither, Short City Shelley sits and Shy City Shelley sits while sipping City Schlitz.
3 times fast.
At Slither, Short City Shelley sits and Shy City Shirley sits while sipping City Slits.
1.
At Slither, Short
3 times fast.
7 swiftly shucked seashells safely to Sushi City.
1.
7 swiftly shucked seashells safely to Sushi City.
2.
7 swiftly shucked seashells safely to Sushi City.
No! 3 times fast.
Buck is a fig plucker. Buck plucks pigs, or plucks figs. Buck's the best fig plucker that ever plucked a fig. Sham's a sheet. Shoops, ship, sup, loves, shoop, ships, soup, shoops.
3 times fast.
Ship shape, ship short, ship shape, sit silently, ship short, sit, ship, shape, ship silently, ship short, sit silently.
1.
Ship shape, ship short, ship shape, sit silently, ship short, sit, ship, shape, ship silently, ship short, sit silently.
2.
Ship, 3
times fast.
Slick Tigger, the city slicker, loves sliding and sitting in her shifty city knickers. Silky, slick knickers.
What a bummer. So close there. Here we go so far this year. There's every loss in Ted versus the FCC. So a tough couple of weeks. Bad jokes on the way. Get them to us, 844-999-OLA. You can email the bad jokes to the men's room at mensroomlive.com as the drunken charge. Ryan Castle coming in to kick off the bad jokes next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
844-999-OLA. And away we go with the bad jokes.
Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the bad jokes.
Hola.
Hola.
So this guy goes to the doc, gets some tests run. A couple weeks later, doc calls him up, says, I got good news and I got bad news. The guy goes, give me the good news first. Doc says, you got 24 hours to live. The guy goes, oh my God, that's the good news. What's the bad news? Tried calling you yesterday.
Hello, Michael. Welcome to Bad Jokes.
You are now 30 seconds out of sync with the universe.
Hola.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Amish.
Amish who?
Funny, you don't look like a shoe.
God damn it. Hello, Jesse. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Okay, why does an Irish chili only have 239 beans?
Why?
Because if it had any more, it'd be too farty.
Too farty, see. Woman, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized.
Too farty.
And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast the police department of Council Bluffs, Nebraska. In this case, there's an officer heard the sound of a taser being used and then saw a man running down the street after a woman. So when a second officer arrived, they caught up, and the couple was separated. Now, the man told police that he and his girlfriend had been in his residence earlier that night, and she refused to leave after he told her to. Now, the report says the couple got into an argument. The man told her not to be so loud because his mother was asleep in the house. It's one of these situations. The man then tried to restrain his girlfriend and bit her arm. Well, that's when she grabbed the taser and ran out of the house. Now, he started chasing after, grabbed a weapon of his own, started chasing after her. She fired the taser at him, and she says, look, she missed, and that's why he kept chasing her. That's when the cops got involved. The reason I'm toasting the cops is this one simple thing that I believe to be true of police everywhere. I don't understand why you take your job, because inevitably, the people you deal with are just a little stranger than people I would deal with. In this case, his weapon of choice was a bottle of vegetable oil, and he was running down the street in nothing but his underwear. And it's just one of those, like, look, if it's me and I see that, like, I'm going to let that go.
You know he's not messing when he shows up with Wesson.
Yeah, I don't understand what was going on there, but we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola, bichola! Get to caller 9 on the line right now for Profile This, 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.